Imagine a 7-year-old child standing in a kitchen. The air is heavy, the silence is screaming, and across from them is a parent who is simply gone. Not physically, they are sitting right there, but their soul is checked out. Maybe it's a bottle, maybe it's a depression that swallowed the light, or maybe it's a rage that's always one wrong word away from exploding. In that silence, something happens that science can barely track, but the soul feels instantly. A tiny internal switch flips. A silent vow is made. If I don't hold this family together, we all drown. That is the exact moment a child dies and a small adult is born. And the most terrifying part? The world is going to applaud you. They will call it strength. They will call it maturity, but they will never call it what it really is. We live in a culture that worships mature children. We see a 10-year-old managing their siblings or a teenager acting as their mother's therapist, and we call them old souls. We call them responsible. But in the world of psychology, this isn't a gift. It's a survival mechanism called parentification. It is the functional equivalent to being drafted into a war before you can tie your shoes. When a child is forced to become the emotional thermostat of a home, they stop living and start performing. They learn to read the microscopic shifts in a parent's eyebrows before they even learn to read a book. They become hyper-aware, hyper-vigilant, and ultimately hyper-invisible. They learn a lethal lesson early on. So you become easy to love by becoming someone who needs nothing. My needs are a burden. Their needs are an emergency. To stay safe, you learn to disappear into the wallpaper of other people's chaos. You might think you got over it. You're successful now, right? You're the one everyone leans on. But your nervous system remembers what your mind tries to forget. When you grow up in a house where the adults are fragile, your brain rewires itself for a state of high alert. This is why, as an adult, you can't sit still. This is why peace feels like a trap. When things are too quiet, your brain whispers, "Where's the blow-up coming from?" Psychologically, you've traded authenticity for attachment. You realized if you were your messy, loud, emotional, childlike self, you would lose the people you needed to survive. So you cut those parts of yourself off. You buried them in a shallow grave in the backyard of your mind and put on a mask of the achiever. And every now and then, life walks you past that grave and you feel something you don't have words for. This trauma doesn't stay in the playground. It grows up with you. It gets a job. It enters your relationships. It becomes your personality. It follows you into your boardroom and your bedroom. It manifests as hyper-independence, that crippling inability to ask for help because in your head, help is a myth. You've been the one doing the helping since you were in 2nd grade. It shows up in your relationships as over-functioning. You find yourself dating people you have to fix or manage because you don't know how to love someone who doesn't need you. To you, love isn't a gift, it's a transaction. You give stability, and in exchange, they don't leave you. You've become a high-functioning ghost, present in every room, but never truly seen in any of them. You're checking every box, hitting every goal, and taking care of everyone, yet you have this haunting, hollow feeling that if you stopped for 1 second, the whole world would realize you're just a tired child in a trench coat. Deep down, every child who grew up too fast harbors a secret poetic fantasy. It's not about winning an Oscar or making millions. It's the fantasy of falling apart. It's the dream that one day you'll finally get to be the weak one, that someone will look at your strength and say, "I see how tired you are. You can let go now. I've got you." But here is the jagged pill we have to swallow. No one is coming to rescue that buried child. No partner, no promotion, and no amount of praise can reach that 7-year-old in the kitchen. The path out isn't self-improvement, it's self-witnessing. Healing starts when you stop gaslighting your own history. You stop saying, "It wasn't that bad," or "Others had it worse." Pain isn't a competition. You have to mourn the childhood you never had. You have to weep for the birthdays where you were the one cleaning up the mess instead of making one. This is the brutal grace of shadow work. It's turning towards those abandoned, immature, needy parts of yourself and saying, "I'm sorry I left you there. I see you now, and you don't have to work to be loved anymore." It means learning to be useless. It means learning to rest without feeling like you're committing a crime. It means realizing that your maturity wasn't a personality trait. It was a prison sentence, and you have the keys. Your entire life, you were told that your strength was your greatest asset. But the truth is, your softness is your greatest victory. You spent years protecting people who should have been protecting you. You've done enough. You've carried enough. You've been strong for long enough. The war is over. You're allowed to come home. You're allowed to be small. You don't have to hold the world together anymore. It's okay to let it spin without you. You were never supposed to carry it in the first place.